Hey guys, this is May, and in this little video, I would like to talk for a moment about reset in peace. But before I begin that, I want to explain what my channel is all about, and it is about language, decoding language, the angles of the symbolism of and the symbolism, excuse me, of language, decoding inverted language, which is our reality, tied in with the zodiac, which is also symbolic, which is also an implement, just like language, and then also esoteric, occult knowledge, but in how it relates to the nature of this, the true nature of this existence, which is a holographic experience decoded by the brain. And I discuss all these topics, and supposedly, according to YouTube, I've got to grab your attention in 7 seconds. I think that's already passed. And as I said before, there's no bars on these windows. I get the whole click, click, click. I get it. We all have a little bit of ADD. However, I do believe that my channel is a little bit distinct from, or actually quite distinct from other channels out there, in that I am providing you with some fresh ideas and different angles as far as the zodiac and language, and also how to log into the analog. And that is what I believe to be a strategy or method that can help us retreat or move away, if you will, as much as we can from this digital holographic environment, which I believe everything is. Everything is AI, everything is digital, down to the self, down to the avatar in this experience. So, having said that, I want to explain to you in this video, reset in peace, okay? And I didn't want to get sidetracked. I just really need to get that out there, because there's different layers of this channel, and different, I can't just come to you and explain language without tying everything into what is this experience that we're having, this file-based experience, as a star, as an orb, right? Which I've explained before, we are born into here, right? So, reset in peace. What I mean by that is I've thought a lot for quite some time about why they say rest in peace, when in reality I don't believe there is a rest, because everything that is going on in your mind is experience. It's the experience of consciousness. Now, that is not actually inside your body, and I'm not sure if you know this or not, but the mind is separate from the brain. The mind is more consciousness, and it is what you would say is the observer. Kind of like the movie The Matrix, although I don't think it works that way exactly. I mean, that's Hollywood's version, but still a sort of documentary, if you will. But there's an observer here, and that observer, right, is connected to the EYE. It is the EYE, the I in the AI, right? The observer. But it all is stemming from deep inside of the brain. The consciousness cannot experience the material form, if you will, cannot experience this without these mechanisms involved, these different mechanics, different working parts deep inside of the brain. So what I mean is, to reset in peace makes a lot more sense when you think about it than to rest in peace. Everything is a bit of a reset. So what do I mean by that? When you sleep, do you not reset upon wakening? You are reset, right? Right? Similar to a computer, right? How we reboot and reset a computer. It goes to sleep, then we charge it, it's corded just as we are corded with an invisible silver cord to the cosmos, and what that means is that you are reset on a daily basis. Day. If you look up the word dia, die, it's the same, okay? You sort of do a little death in sleep, right? Like a little bit of a comatic state, right? As you go into those delta brain waves, which when we are awake, right? You that would be more gamma or beta, like alpha beta waves, right? So what I'm saying is reset in peace, as we say when we are bidding adieu to our loved ones in the motions of a funeral is what I'm saying. How we say, or you would put on a tombstone, right? You would or in a eulogy. This is what people say. May they rest in peace. It doesn't make sense though. There's hidden code there. And that's what I'm here for, is to illustrate some of these codes and to give you a little braingasm, expand your mind and just think. These codes, somehow I know that I have access to some codes. I am decoding things and delivering them to you. So, reset in peace. Now, set. Look at the word set in the word rest. Do you know who Set is? If you said to yourself that Set is an Egyptian god of the afterlife, then you are right. Set is the brother of Osiris. Okay, so which that's all just allegory. That's all um, to help us crack the codes, but did it really exist? Maybe, but not here, but not in this dimension. This is just a plane of existence, right? Amongst many others. So, reset, Set is the Egyptian god of the afterlife, symbolically, allegorically, and what we can find from that terminology in the common rest in peace phrase is that what is referred to as Set in the afterlife. And if you look even further into this Egyptian, this symbolic nature, these Egyptian gods and symbolism, you'll see that there's a resurrection. And we see that in Christianity. You see all stories line up, right? There's a type of resurrection in even in Hinduism and everything, reincarnation. There is a rebirth, and we look at the word re, and it's similar like to air. To air is human. It's a verb. Think re, like as in smaller, bigger. So it illustrates or embodies a human or an animal form, and it means to come again. Okay, so now there's not you don't have the that reset, that other e, but that's implied, and this is what the decoding of language involves. We know that we don't rest when we go 6 feet under, or when you are cremated. You don't, because the consciousness that is swirling around you, that is the sprite, that is the spirit, the electricity swirling around you that extends several feet, some would say aura, that encompasses all your multidimensional states of existence, right? Whether you want to believe that's before or after reincarnation, simultaneous incarnations, what have you. But what I'm saying is this is all floating around you and it's not inside of you. But it can't it operate without the brain. So it wants existence. It must exist again. Um, just like you may say to yourself sometimes, how am I still here? You're still here, okay? Whether you're 25 or 85, you're still here because this is consciousness wanting to exist. So it needs a body, it needs an avatar, so it will reset itself naturally in the same manner as a computer when it goes to sleep, and then we recharge it and we reboot it and it resets. And there's talk of the reset, the great reset, right? You've heard of that, right? And the thing is there's even soft resets or resets that we are not privy to as this knowledge is withheld, but which we can get from our cosmic downloads. We can find out that there are resets on a regular basis. I mean, full moon is a good example. Different shifts in the zodiac create resets. Have you ever felt like you wake up? For me, I'm going to describe this, and I wonder if any of you guys have felt this, like you've just slept 1,000 years, like you, because time doesn't exist when we're in our sleep phase, in our little comas, and that's connected to coma berenices also. And the Masons love the number 455. They love the fours and the fives, so you can look that up. Coma Berenices is part of is not is in the same group of constellations as now I'm gonna have to look it up, but I believe it's Orion. There's a few of them that are significant to this existence. So what I'm saying is we are corded here as an orb. We're having this experience that we can't have without the constellations. So that orb is related is your consciousness. It's your light, your energy. Energy. You enter the G, right? The G is a big thing here. Gmail, Freemasons, G, right? Seventh letter of the alphabet, and you cannot have this experience, this with this body. The orb wants you to have it. Consciousness craves this. I'm certain of this. So those deep thoughts that you experience, those little those thoughts of that enlighten you, that enhance you, that are activated by the cosmos, that is your orb, and that is consciousness, and that is a type of electricity. It's a type of frequency, right? What's the frequency, Kenneth, right? We're on a certain frequency here. And I've said before it's like 33.3, and that's for those of us with real orbs, with let's say older souls. We've been here many times. We've experienced this. We don't feel brand new here. We operate differently. We're not downloadable by the main quantum system. We can't be programmed in the same way as some would call NPCs, right? We're more like the the RPC, the real playing characters, right? But it doesn't. This whole system, this experience doesn't work without them. Those backdrop characters are required for the video game, and so the whole point of this little video was to explain to you reset in peace makes a lot more sense as we see the word set, and the E is silent. Okay, the E is for the earthling, the ether, the electricity. um, you'll see an E is silent often. There's certain letters that are often silent, and those letters are questionable because all they are is symbols to you, giving you codes into the nature, the true nature of this existence, which I think we can all agree is an existence that does not provide us with a handbook, if you will. Right? I know there's the Bible, but let's say one without deception or allegory or code. It's we're not told, you're not told when you come into this existence that you're a star. Yes, maybe metaphorically speaking, your real lineage, your ancestors, your who you really are. Can anyone debate me on that? Do you feel confident about you are told the true nature of this reality? You feel good about, you believe in a savior and all this in Christianity? Maybe, and maybe that could trigger some people. But it's just symbolic. The resurrection, actually, if you look at the word resurrection, erection, okay, and then to be erect is to stand up and to rise again, just like in Jesus and Christianity. And then the first part of this word is Hebrew, to rise again. And you see the re, you always see the re, R-E. You see the re in reset. Reboot, repeat. What is the word peat? It's for land, like going underground and coming back up. Repeat, record, record. Okay? Get a little braingasm here. Expand. Because the more you expand, the more your brain connects to the cosmic downloads, which is the real essential you, which is floating around, okay? Emanating from the eye inside the body with like activated. It's a cord, it's a connection. You've got a conduit to your higher self. And I don't really like that terminology, but it's hard to come up with a better title, outer self. But that is the essence of who you really are, of the human. That is the essence. Okay, this is just all illusion. That's why, and some of you, I know some of you have stress and you worry so much, as we all do, but there's no need. There's no need. And then you lower your frequency that way, and that's what you don't want. You want to raise your frequency. You want to connect with who you really are, which is outside of here. And there's liberation in that. There's liberation in that. And even when you have, in the very human sense, when we have situations with friends or families or colleagues, maybe you have this where you get into situations, you disagree, you detach from people. This can be really difficult, right? But this is actually what you come to find out is this is good for you, because then you can connect more to the outer self. I'm not saying, like, I mean, you need people. I have a big social life. But there is a part of me that upholds a charade that I don't really like. And we hate to minimize ourselves, so you do want to always be your authentic self. But in some ways, it's just not possible because you are light years beyond what would be considered an Automon or an NPC, and you must engage with them, often on a daily basis, whether it's through work or just through basic experiences, right? You must engage with them. You can't go around talking to them about the afterlife and reincarnation or cosmic downloads and higher consciousness. They don't, it's kind of funny, they don't get that. And actually, that's what I said, that's liberation. That's true enlightenment, because you are the elite. You are. We are the Illuminati. We are the enlightened ones. And hopefully I can impart some wisdom here for you and some knowledge that I receive. See the word receive? R-E? It's everywhere. And it's a clue to you. And it's in the phrase rest in peace. Reset in peace. Because this is a cycle-based system. It's a wheel. And I know there's a lot of people who are there. I'm not coming back here. Well, I get it. But you're going to have to convince consciousness of this. It's pretty powerful. And how do you know for sure that consciousness, when it realizes that it's 6 feet under, or the cremation begins and it starts circling in the air, which actually just is a release of atoms. Okay, when it starts circulating into the atom sphere, some would call atmosphere, but it's an atom sphere. It's a sphere of atoms. Where did I get that from? From the higher self. I deliver it to you. I see language backwards, upside down, inverted. It's atoms. So, once consciousness realizes the separation of the body, it wants to come back. It wants a rebirth, a resurrection. It wants to reset in peace, not rest. So some could say, well, I don't want any language. I don't want to think. I don't want to speak. I don't want to be human so I can get out of here. But guess what? Use language to your advantage. Use the angles of your zodiac. Use your knowledge of these systems as tools. How are you going to exit this matrix if you don't know how you got here? If you don't understand the map or the entrance? So we use these as tools. Breaking out of the cave. Because if it's inverted, if it's upside down, if there's code, that means you can crack it. And what that means is it can help you. It can't hinder you. Most people walking around will not realize how inverted and how disassembled language is. They won't. But how crazy it is to think about. It's like going to the airport, which is similar to a teleport, because you are teleporting. You go back in time, you go forward through time zones. But would you go to the airport without a destination? Without a ticket? I've never heard of that. Wouldn't that be nonsense? That wouldn't make sense. Right? But this is part of the distraction. Is they don't want you thinking about the exit or the next level of the game, right? Right? If you want to subscribe to the notion of just being human and straw man and everything in here is that's what this is all about, it's not. The nemesis, which is only the lower dimensional forces, an aspect of consciousness, all it is, there's nothing to hate or be angry or to blame. But they must have a polarized system, video game, virtual reality, holographic system, in order for this to work, in order for this to be pulled off. It must convince you of that. But we're beyond that. I am beyond that. To be honest with you, the human condition doesn't do much for me anymore. And that's some of the downfall of enlightenment and attaching to our other self, our invisible self, our outer self, is to realize that that's not who you really are. You are an orb, you are a light, you are a frequency, you are electrical, and this is all connected to the brain. Yes, it's the pineal gland, that's true. That's true, it is, but there's much more than that. And in my next video, I'll describe that even more. There's the fornix, you've got in the sky the fornax. Why is this? Why do the mechanisms of the brain match and are parallel to that of the sky, to that of the constellations, and to that of the cosmic forces right above you? It's just expanded. The sky is just you expanded. And the eye is just perceiving the sky through the implements deep inside the brain. Well, you could say, well, Aimee, that is just the prison system. The matrix is the brain. Okay, but here's the thing. You need to understand the inner workings of this. It will help you. There is calcification. There is methods that we can't deny, right? That they, which is the aspect of the I. Don't waste your time hating them. Then their system works on you. Then the matrix does its trick on you. Don't waste your time on that. It's more important to be calm, to study and learn, to reflect, meditate, conjugate, go deep into the analog system with creativity. And the only nation that you exist is called imagination, okay? And when you connect to that, you're going to get your downloads. You're going to get a source that will help you when it's time to exit this reset system in which you are in. Okay, but you've got the pineal, you've got the pituitary, and that is connected with the sun and the moon. You've got the left and the right hemispheres of the brain, and that is the sun and the moon, the masculine and the feminine. And when the sun kind of shrinks, or the moon, kind of shrinks from its fullness, you get more consciousness. Now with the moon, you get more emotion, more mood. But with the sun, and as we go into Aries in the spring, we are more and more enlightened. We are activated. We are hooked in to our true self, right? I hope this makes sense. We reset in peace. But to reset in peace and tranquility and calmness is to understand the true nature of who you are. And that is my whole point in this channel, and decoding language and decoding the zodiac and understanding patterns. For example, you have a series of patterns in which you were born into, orbed into here. You have a series of patterns unique, okay? There are different descriptions, there are bundle, there are splay, There is bowl, bucket, they have different names. I have learned through mine, and without tooting my horn, also that I've got a series of yods, Y-O-D, that's a Hebrew word, and that is a finger to God. And I wouldn't know this if I didn't study my patterns. I wouldn't know. But you're a series of angles. I mean, if you raise your hand right now, how did you do that? It's because you're an angle. You've got a right angle, right? I mean, and actually the right hemisphere operates the left side. And what is the left side? You use your left hand primarily when you hold a phone. And what is your left side attached to? It's attached to the heart, which is an electrical system, which is also attached to the brain, which is also attached to the right hemisphere of the brain. What side do you think the lower dimensional forces or the lower dimensions of the mind want to control? But you are superior to that. You are more advanced. You are far more powerful than you are led on to believe. And I'm here to help you tap into that through the analog and creativity and through the tools of language and the zodiac, patterns, angles. There are angles, not angels. Are there demons? Yes, but we're not going to waste our time being upset and being angry with them. We're outsmarting the system. And that's why I started this channel. And I love to see you guys' comments. I think you're all amazing. I do want to say to Beachbody, Beachbody made me aware of, excuse me, I think it's Beach Baby. I'm sorry. But it made me aware of freeze frame technology because that's how I feel a lot of times when I sleep. And I wonder if you guys do too. Like I go into a deep coma, I sleep hard, really vivid dreams, and I swear I feel like I've been gone 1,000 years. Is it just me? Is it my oversoul going off? And God, these planes of existence are so real. I don't want to feel alone here. Anyone else experience that with the dreams? How lucid and vivid, and you just feel like you've been gone so long? Well, if there is freeze frame technology and time does not exist outside of death, what makes you think it exists in sleep? It doesn't. You feel like you came back here after 8 hours, but did you really? I mean, that's where the moon comes in, and that's a whole nother video. So I will stop here. So the topic of this video is reset and peace. That makes a lot more sense because consciousness is not going with the body. No way. It's still going to circulate. And I would love to have you guys, your opinions on this. And happy spring. Happy spring, because Aries will arise. This is our, we are resurrecting. This is our rise and shine, right? It's exciting. It's a great time. And we are going to use this to our advantage. And I want to thank you guys. Thank you guys for listening. I think you're all amazing and brilliant. And I love to see your comments. And I'll get more in the next one, give you more in the next one. And thanks a lot.